love, justice, respect, equality, kindness, compassion, equal in dignity, and rights. Hello and welcome to Equal in Dignity and Rights by the Wassmuth Center for Human Rights, home of the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial. Today, you'll be introduced to another person of influence whose words are also etched into the stone of the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial. At the end of this video, we'll prompt you with a few questions that will get you started in today's virtual journal entry. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer to what you write. You are human, equal in dignity and rights. Our next influencer's name you've already heard. The Wassmuth Center for Human Rights was named in honor of Bill Wassmuth. Bill Wassmuth was born July 19, 1941, in Green Creek, Idaho, and passed at the age of 61 on August 27, 2002. He was raised on a farm as one of 9 children in a devout Catholic family. Many of Wassmuth's views were shaped by his upbringing. He learned about tolerance and the difference that one person can make from his father, who was the manager of a community skating rink. When black children tried to skate at the rink and townspeople protested, the elder Wassmuth stood up to friends and neighbors and refused to discriminate. Bill entered St. Thomas Seminary in the 8th grade and was ordained a Catholic priest in 1967. He served in several Idaho parishes and worked in religious education. It was during his time as a priest of St. Pius X in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, when in the 1980s he found himself confronted with the misuse of theology for hateful aims by white terrorists settling in northern Idaho. He lived through the bombing of his home and built coalitions to battle the Aryan nations as chair of the Kootenai County Task Force on Human Relations. The Aryan Nations was a hate group established in northern Idaho in the 1970s, occupying a 20-acre compound that attracted terrorists, anti-Semites, racists, and neo-Nazis. Wassmuth mobilized opposition to the group, including a human rights celebration that dramatically outdrew the Aryan Nations' annual World Congress being held the same week. After leaving the priesthood and moving to Washington State in 1988, Wassmuth devoted his life to activism. He became the first director of the Northwest Coalition Against Malicious Harassment, formed to oppose organized bigotry. Inspired by his earlier actions, Wassmuth lived to see the bankruptcy of the neo-Nazi compound in a 2000 civil lawsuit. His book, Hate is My Neighbor, co-authored with Tom Alibrandi, tells the story of how a community came together to stand strong against bigotry and to counter hate. To ignore hate groups, even though they usually include relatively small numbers of people, is to miscalculate the impact they can have on a community, Wassmuth wrote, and to miss an opportunity to bring a community together to take another step towards justice for all. Bill Wassmuth was an individual who epitomized the Wassmuth Center's mission to promote respect for human dignity and diversity through education and to foster individual responsibility to work for justice and peace. Bill Wassmuth is recognized as a hero and champion for human rights. Saying yes to human rights is the best way to say no to prejudice. Bill Wassmuth. Now it's your turn. No need to wait a single moment. Through the Schoology portal, we've left a space for you to record your thoughts. You may want to pause the video after each question to give yourself some time to write. There are a total of 3 questions. Here are the questions to help get you started. In what ways have you said yes to human rights in your own life? When confronted with hate, Bill Wassmuth stood taller and got louder in standing up against bigotry and prejudice. What is something that you can do today when you hear or witness injustice? How is a human rights organization, such as the Wassmuth Center for Human Rights, a benefit to a community or state? Take your time. Remember, this is your journal, your diary. You can be honest with your thoughts. Just as Bill Wassmuth teaches us through his work, never forget how we can positively change the world when we are all equal in dignity and rights.